On Christmas Eve, former President Donald Trump unleashed a sharp criticism of President Joe Biden's decision to commute the sentences of nearly all federal death row prisoners, calling it an affront to justice and the victims' families. This controversial move by President Biden commuted the death sentences of 37 individuals convicted of heinous crimes, including murder, to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Trump expressed his outrage on his Truth Social platform, condemning Biden's decision and promising swift action to reinstate the death penalty once he assumes office. In his posts, Trump labeled the commuted individuals as the worst killers in our country and described their crimes as unimaginable. He lamented the additional suffering Biden's decision might cause the victims' families and vowed to restore law and order by directing the Justice Department to aggressively pursue capital punishment for violent offenders once inaugurated. This marks a continuation of the starkly different approaches to criminal justice taken by the two leaders. Trump, during his previous tenure as president, oversaw a controversial resumption of federal executions after a 17-year hiatus. Between 2020 and 2021, his administration carried out 13 federal executions, making it the most active period of federal capital punishment in modern history. Conversely, Biden has sought to phase out the death penalty, citing moral and ethical concerns. In a statement accompanying the commutations, Biden explained his decision as one guided by his conscience, past experiences as a public defender, and years of legislative work in the Senate Judiciary Committee. He expressed empathy for the families of victims, but emphasized his belief that the death penalty has no place in the federal justice system. "I condemn these murderers and grieve for their victims," Biden said, "but I cannot, in good conscience, allow a new administration to resume executions that I halted." Biden's decision leaves only 3 individuals on federal death row: Robert Bowers, Dylann Roof, and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. These cases are distinguished by their association with acts of terrorism and hate-fueled mass violence. Bowers, 52, was convicted for the 2018 Tree of Life Synagogue massacre in Pittsburgh, where 11 worshippers were killed. Roof, 30, was sentenced for the 2015 Charleston church shooting, a racially motivated attack that claimed 9 lives. Tsarnaev, 31, was convicted for the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, which killed 3 people and injured hundreds. Biden clarified that these specific cases warranted maintaining the death penalty due to their extraordinary nature, but he refrained from extending such judgment to the broader population on death row. The decision to commute these sentences has sparked a polarized response. Some victims' families and advocates for criminal justice reform have praised the move as a step toward a more humane and equitable system. For instance, Donnie Oliverio, a retired Ohio police officer whose partner was killed by one of the individuals whose sentence was commuted, expressed his support for Biden's action. "The execution of the person who killed my best friend would bring me no peace," Oliverio stated, aligning his views with Biden's faith-driven perspective. On the other hand, many relatives of victims have expressed frustration and heartbreak. Carol Downing, whose family members were injured in the Boston Marathon bombing, voiced relief that Tsarnaev's sentence remains intact, but warned of potential outrage if Biden were to extend clemency to him in the future.